The disrespect is real, but how far is too far? We talk about that and much more right after this.
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Woo! Welcome to the Wrestling Rum Now podcast, where we're a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. When? Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Rum anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Rum. I am your host, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host, Brother Hugh. Has the third H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 R to the D. He is your host, Brian H. Waters, the Jack Daddy himself. Waters Wednesdays, aka brother, the heel, Hollywood Brian H. He is your host, Brandon the Guy. You know, it's the guy from Spotify that says he's a face, he's a baby face. So that's why I know you guys got babies. I'm gonna leave it at that. Though.
Shout out to the babyface producer Jonathan Kermit. That's because he's the youngest.
There's a reason he calls himself the babyface, but no, that's nothing to do with it.
That was before I got there. Clearly.
You can stream and download all of our audio content on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. If you want to support the brand, you can shop at WrestlingRealm.com. That's right. We have our own merchandise store where you can see t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, mugs, all types of paraphernalia. Support and dress like us. You can get our proud wrestling fan t-shirt. We have so many new drops. We have our famous, why should I say now famous, Wrestling Realm. Wait, I lost the clip. Don't worry about it. Listen, if you want to buy a shirt, get this. There it is. Bam. You can get your Jack Daddy Brian t-shirt. It says coming soon to the WrestlingRealm.com, but it is there right now. Support Brian H in his fitness journey. Be like the Jack Daddy himself. And guess what? He just might give you a phone call with some inspiring words. So head over to WrestlingRealm.com for all Wrestling Realm Now podcast merchandise. Also, subscribe to our Patreon channel. That's right. Patreon.com/wrestling_realm for all exclusive shows and bonus material. Brian H. writes, we all do other stuff. It's all there. Patreon.com for all exclusive and bonus material. That's the place you want to be. There's stories that we can't tell on the air. They're on Patreon.com. The articles that we've written about our past lives, things we've done as we came up as wrestling fans. That's all there. So you can subscribe for just as low as $1. So Patreon.com/The Wrestling Realm. No, excuse me. Patreon.com/wrestling_realm. Please don't get that wrong, because trust me, it won't pop up. For all exclusive shows and bonus material from us. Also, if you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com where you can use promo code WrestlingRealm to save $20 on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to purchase tickets to go to concerts, sporting events, shows, head over to SeatGeek.com. And if it's your first time, you can use promo code WrestlingRealm to save $20 off your purchase if you spend $50 or more. Huh? That was good.
Yeah, Raw coming to Baltimore and MSG and Salisbury for house shows and more places. Buffalo, New York.
Is there such thing as the road to SummerSlam? Is that a thing? Do we acknowledge that? Is that a bit of wrestling fan?
They threw out the graphic today.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got an email. I got an email about all the upcoming events, and yes, it is. I believe it's July 5th. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No,
it's to SummerSlam.
No, Raw. I'm sorry, Monday Night Raw.
July 3rd is the first one after Money in the Bank. So as soon as they leave from over there, they come in here to Baltimore.
Money in the Bank. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? Well, that's going to be fun to get into. But yeah, We are on the road to SummerSlam, but before we get started, Brother Brandon, you had another successful episode of Championship Culture last night. You want to tell the people exactly what you got into on the latest episode of Champion?
So it seems like that the tag team title, as soon as we think they like becoming an afterthought, they keep coming back to the forefront. So I thought it was time to talk about, are two really better than one? So on the latest episode of Championship Culture, I talked about a little brief history about the title. I gave the story about why I have 3 of the modern era tag team belts. I even showed some in-depth look of some of them. I have one sitting right here. This is the first one I grabbed.
This is the best part of Brandon's diatribe. He always, like, belts improve the show. There's nice shiny stuff to show as go along with his stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to acknowledge that.
This is actually commemorative, and it actually looks pretty well, doesn't it?
It does. I would have never known.
Yeah, because they're very good about display pieces.
So, I have a question about the commemorative after you finish, so don't let me forget.
Oh, no, go ahead, ask your question because I might switch belts.
Now, there was one specific title that had a commemorative version of it. Me and Brian H were during our time of where Brian H was starting to he started getting that belt itch, and he was really starting. I think by this time he might have already had his first or second belt, and once you know all people. Once you buy that first one, now you want to get into it. And I remember we were talking about the Continental Championship. And I remember seeing when the replica first came out, and I was like, Brian H, I might get that commemorative because one, it's cheaper. It might be easier for me to get, and it looks just like it. And I was like, it's obviously the quality was going to be completely different. But just from a distance, I was like, man, this might be good enough. Have you seen and gotten your hands on the commemorative white strap Intercontinental Championship?
I have actually held it, and the crazy part is my nephew has the commemorative one. So when I say I've held it, I've been up and close personal with it. The white one that's actually, I'm sorry, this white.
It's literally right behind you. Yeah, I was watching it as you was talking. Like, matter of fact, it's right there.
Yeah, and it really was just like. Go ahead.
No, is it like this tag team title? Is it almost identical in of course visually? I know when you hold it, you can obviously tell.
Yep, because as you see, it's still a good display piece. It's very light. It, of course, when you shine it up, you can really tell the difference. But if you were literally just having them side by side, you would have to get up close to say which one is. There's less because that one doesn't have stones. Remember, so it's really hard to tell the difference with that one because it's all plating. So yeah, the globe could be a little shinier on the real one versus the commemorative, but from a distance on the display piece, you wouldn't even know. Like, as many times this has been in the background, I'm pretty sure people didn't even realize this was commemorative until I pointed it out.
I didn't, and I've been to the museum, so.
But it's a very good. It's a very good museum. It's not that bad of a museum. I'll just switch it out because, but the nickel has a better shine in it.
That's what he does.
Nickel, that's why. So yeah, it was a interesting take, but I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 because I feel like I uncovered the surface a little bit about. Or 2 belts better than one because that seems to be a hot topic because we keep going from 2 to 1 undisputed to separate brands, and it seems like if we don't do something different and maybe we wait for the title to change belts or some way to split them off, but I think we're better off with 2 belts. It really defines the division when you have 2 separate tags.
Bro, you doing a lot of talking about belts, bro. Let's talk about something else, man. God dang.
You see, he just
hold on. I gotta wait to shut him up. What you say here? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, I'm good. I'm chilling.
Look at that.
Oh, you okay? You all right?
I'm chilling.
It's not cool that you have everybody else's belt in the
right.
It's like everybody's doppelganger title. It's like, oh, what'd you say?
Oh, I thought he said something.
No, I ain't saying nothing. I'm chilling, man.
Okay, I thought you was chilling.
No, I'm sipping my tea.
Change back on so you can see it.
My tea.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure you were good.
Big sips over here. Be good.
If you want to hear more about these, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that was it about championship culture because we can go down a rabbit hole with belts for a minute, but I'm not going to do that on this show. That's just not the time nor the place. That might be a reel or a live.
No, it's okay because I got an announcement after I finish this advertisement. So if you want to continue and hear about more about these championship titles, because according to Brother Brandon, the guy, every championship has a story. Head over to youtube.com/The Wrestling Room where you can catch up on everything championship culture. So if you missed it, you can go back and check on it. Championship culture now added to the Wrestling Realm networks with Brandon, the guy. So, and as he went from the advertisement. He comes back and he has a strap. See, if you're listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, let me describe one title on the shoulder, right? And then I put up a graphic to advertise the show. Then we came back and the championship on the shoulder. So I just want to make sure the people listening to us understand the visual that's going on. I'm trying to contain my laughter, but he does that on purpose because he has a museum behind him. He can do this for the next 30 years and it's not gonna make a difference. So yeah, brothers, we are here today because first of all, we're on the road to SummerSlam. We're almost there. We have Night of Champions coming up. We have Money in the Bank. But tonight we're talking about disrespect. Now we know that professional wrestling is no stranger to disrespectful moments. But we got to have a discussion about this. You know, usually when the brothers got to get together, we have to have conversations. There's got to be a reason for it. We just saw this week on SmackDown. We saw Roman Reigns treating his family, the bloodline, very, very disrespectful. And a lot of us watched it and we kind of cringed because we've all had our little spats with our cousins and family members and relatives. And at some point, you just have to ask yourself, is the disrespect too far? How far is too far? Brian H., ring the bell. The bell wasn't bell wasn't queued up.
That's not the bell, bro. Come on.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the bell. No, it's okay. We're good. We're still here. So, good brothers. That was the overview of what we talked about, right? That's the main event of our show. But let's start off a little slow. Let's relax a little. What did we watch this week? Brian H., what'd you get into, sir?
Man, I didn't watch too much of anything classic, but I definitely watched some Young Rock. You know, it's around the time of year because it's such a good show that when it's not airing live, I like to go back and look at some of the episodes. So, yeah, definitely watch some of that, especially around the time when him and his dad, like when they were working in the shop overnight when Rock thought his dad was like just partying.
When he was at Chili's or something.
Chili's, yep.
Yeah, I think was he at Chili's? He was cleaning or something, right?
Yeah, and that's a true story though.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was a true story. It's my fault, Brian H. I was watching. I was watching The Rock on the Pivot podcast. Good brothers of ours. It's not really, but you got to speak into existence.
I watched that.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? And I remember he's like, no, there was a point in time where my parents were trying to make ends meet, and my dad's they parents started a cleaning business, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's the beauty of Young Rock is when he tells these stories, you kind of see these depictions of what was really going on in real life. So I always thought that was that's one of the things on the show that I enjoy the most is that so many stories that we've heard from The Rock, and then you kind of get it in TV form. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Young Rock.
I've mentioned before, like I'm reading his book.
Yeah,
and the one he wrote, like I guess in 2099 or 2000, and I just think back to the way the characters look on Young Rock. Like when he tells the stories, I think back of the little boy who plays him when he was in elementary school, and the teenager who plays him in high school. And one of the stories, like he talked about on the Pivot, just his dad, and it makes you kind of understand like Rocky Johnson more as far as the reason why like he loved, but he was also like the soul man, just kind of his story growing up. But yeah, that was definitely a good interview. Shout out to the Pivot people.
Yeah, good Ryan Clark and Channing and T. Good brothers. I think they've created a platform where people can be honest. So it was Rock, it's a little crossover appeal for us wrestlers.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Ryan Clark, man. That was a good brother when I worked with him up at the 4-letter. I did tell him, I said, as much as you my favorite analyst, you play for all the wrong teams, the Steelers, the Giants, at the time, Redskins. But
can I ask you a question, Brian H? Can I ask you a question? Why do you still act like you still have a non-compete clause and you can't say the you're already a heel? No, you're already a heel.
Well, okay. I guess my
his lawyer advised him.
Well, the owner of the company I work for under the division of Spotify, he used to work there, so I guess it's cool. It's actually funny because a lot of former ESPNers that's at Spotify, you sit up there, you're like, oh yeah, we used to work, we cross paths, probably said hi once or twice in the hallways. It just is what it is. That's why they say never burn a bridge. You never know, you might got to go back over it.
You're absolutely right. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do for you next week, and Brother Hugh, remind me if I forget to do it. I need to get the NWO music sound clips. Every time Brian H just says something and he's trying to be like super PR and trying to be super commercial, I'm just gonna hit the music and you're just gonna hear the NWO theme music playing in the background.
Big heel promo. There we go.
We're just gonna have it on.
Not a heel.
You are a heel. I'm gonna tell you why you're a heel. It's because Shoemaker himself has you on his show. Like he runs the whole thing. That's right. I'm saying I'm going there. He runs the whole thing, and then I'm like, wait a minute, they doing a solo like Brian H. Hop on with me. Come on, man. It doesn't get any more.
He asked me for an opinion, and
it doesn't get more heel than that. All you fans out there can stick it, brother. All you fans out here throwing trash in the ring.
Hey, look,
you all can stick it, brother.
Hey, all I'm saying is, I'm very respectful. Not my fault. People want to turn their heads at inside SoFi Stadium, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Listen, man. Hey, listen. One man down, next man up.
Oh, is that
Dylan.
Yeah.
You know, Dylan's always on target.
Shenanigans.
Always on point, bro.
Always. Like Dylan's like, this is Dylan makes sure he's always a part of the show. That's the truth. But yeah, I like to give Brian H a hard time. It's tradition. It's been that way for since I've known him.
12 years, bro.
I was about to say 10 to 12 years. I don't think I've never not given you a break.
No, you know what it all started? It started in that freaking in Red's class.
I think it did start in Red's class.
When Dwayne was in my
and I don't think we've ever stopped.
Nope. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon,
right, because,
a lot of people don't know those clips. Brandon took me to Derek and Claude's house to make it happen.
You talking B. Croft?
No,
B.
Claude.
Crawford?
Excuse me. That Brandon, the guy.
Shoot, the guy. Oh yeah. Because he took you to he took to Derek's house because he was doing. Yeah. You didn't say the guy. I thought I'm like B. Crawford.
Shout out to B. Crawford, man. Spent my birthday with him.
B. Crawford is down in man.
Yeah,
that's my man. $50,000.
He's still B. Crawford too. We was in Vegas together. So me, him, and CJ Butter. So you can imagine how that was.
Oh man, we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of when we graduated from college.
Oh shoot, we are, ain't we?
Yeah, so that's why I just figured it seemed appropriate. So, you know, but you know, heel Brian H. Waters Wednesdays. Brother Hugh, what you get into this week, sir?
Man, I spent my time listening to some gump talk about some belts all damn time. You know,
golly, another one?
Yeah, bro. There was another one. Like, I don't know where these gumps come from. Like, showing off that little gold and silver over there. You know what I mean? It's just too much sometimes.
Wait, but like, what do you mean over there though? Somewhere in particular?
Yeah, right in the bottom region. Yeah,
I get
in that corner over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually had to catch up on Raw and SmackDown. I missed everything, and I
do his homework
today. Yeah, I had to do my homework before I jump on. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got into. I would like to say JD McDonough. Yeah, you barking up the wrong tree, bro.
Oh,
I couldn't wait for you to see that. I didn't even tell you. Couldn't wait.
He's barking up the wrong tree.
So let's just go there, brother.
The Irish Ace. You talking about the Irish Ace?
Yes, sir.
Let's just go there, okay? Because the people like these type of conversations. You know, if you don't know Brother Hugh, Dolph Ziggler is his guy through and throughout.
Yes,
like there's two guys that he's got. There he goes. Brother Brandon does it again. Now he is.
No, right.
You saw it. I got to transcribe for the listeners. For those who are listening, brother Brandon the guy has now just put the purple cruiserweight WWE Championship version 2 with the red at the bottom of the WWE logo, not the black of the original version that came out across the shoulder. As Brother Hugh was going to Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph Ziggler, right? Veteran, tried and true, Grand Slam champion.
Yes,
to say the least, Hall of Famer, easy. JD McDonough, new face. You know, we got an NXT guy, NXT UK guy making a name for himself. Man, he did some disrespectful stuff in the Intercontinental Battle Royal that took place on Raw to determine who was going to be the #1 contender for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, along with Imperium. They both got Dolph Ziggler and JD McDonough got eliminated, but JD McDonough wasn't done. He brutally attacked Dolph Ziggler as he was kind of minding his business, trying to get himself together as he was thrown out of the ring. And then later on in the evening, he was interviewed and he made it very clear, look, man, I'm new here and I want to make a statement. And what better of a statement to make than to attack one of the most decorated superstars in all of WWE history? Brother Hugh, how disrespected did you feel for this young buck?
Hey, man, I was hurt.
No pun intended to Nick and Matt Jackson to go there and attack the zigzag, fresh out of an Intercontinental chair. He's been in a slump for a while. He's trying to work with these young dudes. He just got eliminated, and JD McDonough just attacks him. What's going on?
Man, that was heated. I was ready to jump through the TV screen, bro. Yeah.
Hugh, I got to make a correction. This is not the belt JD held. He had the NXT one. Do you mind if I get the NXT one while you talk?
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
You want me to get that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Make your switch.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Continue with your
Ladies and gentlemen.
Continue with your story here.
Brandon, the guy has switched from the purple WWE Cruiserweight Championship version to the WWE NXT Cruiserweight with the black strap.
I gotta get it from this side.
Go ahead, brother Hugh.
Hold on, we gotta wait for you to come back.
No, brother Hugh,
go ahead.
We good now.
Hey, brother Hugh, listen, I got your back, man. Go ahead and talk about this real quick. I'll be right back. I got something for Brandon because he's not gonna keep coming at my guys like this. Go ahead. Explain to the world how disrespected you felt as the number one Dolph Ziggler fan that JD McDonough, this new cat, attacked Dolph Ziggler. Go ahead. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Hey, look, first off, I want to say I do like JD McDonough. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, but he attacked the wrong guy, and I can't deal with that, man. I was ready to jump through the screen, bro. I was ready to jump through the screen.
So if he would have jumped anybody else, you'd have been okay with it.
Yeah. Anybody else, but Zigzag, he was minding his business. He was chilling. Bias? He was chilling, huh?
He definitely was, though. I got to give you credit for that. He was just chilling.
Right. You don't hit nobody in the head.
He got his face bashed in. Like he was just mad that he got eliminated.
Exactly. He took his frustrations out of my man. That's all right. He gonna get it though. He gonna get it.
But do you think he's gonna join the Judgment Day?
No. It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
What you think? I could look at his face.
I'm just saying. What?
No. I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about Brandon.
Oh,
he had a little smirk on his face.
Man, I've been watching JD McDonough since he was in NXT. There's something about him, just like his intensity. I believe it was that what was it? That Shawn Michaels match? We'll call it that Iron Man, Ironclad match or whatever.
Yeah.
I watched him, and he was actually one of my picks who could probably walk away with the thing. But I'm excited about him. He is obviously on the smaller side. He reminds me of Brandon's favorite. Huh?
You remind me of Scrappy Doo. But go ahead.
Wow.
That's because he had
I can feel it. The disrespect real tonight. Like he just
sir.
That man Scrappy Doo. Puppy power.
Scrappy Doo. Puppy power. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie, he definitely reminds me of Benoit. He has some Benoit vibes.
He does.
Really? Where do you get that from? Let me ask you that.
His facial expression, his intensity, and his size. Like so where Benoit was obsessed with the Don. I don't see JD McDonough like obsessed with him, but I could see some shades and that's where I get the comparisons from. But I think he has way more charisma.
You know what else has way more charisma? Oh man.
Man.
And the realness just pulled out a belt, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, it was funny how like a minute ago, just some belt guy just like sort of pulling out your guys' titles.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
What do we have here? Oh man. Don't mind me.
What do we have here? A couple of haters.
Right.
Maury.
What is this right here? Look at this thing. Ooh,
so let me transcribe.
That's a lot of weight back
there.
there.
Dwayne Allen just did. He pulled out the Wrestling Realm custom-made belt of Brandon the Guy. His big eagle one. I don't even want to call it a big eagle. It has angel wings eagle almost. So it's that version he has that he's been holding on to for a reason.
Let me just
later time.
Let me just move this over here. Oh, as I casually just move it to the other side. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Now you gonna keep it in the frame the whole time?
Oh yeah, no, I just figured it would sit there. Just like that tag title right there. So
you have a spotlight or something.
As we keep going through the night and burning the midnight oil, I'm gonna go get the cleaner and the spray and start cleaning that tag belt.
I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of disrespect going on right now.
Everybody bringing belts out.
No, because it's a disrespectful vibe going on. Okay, so he brings out a title that he knows nobody else has.
Right.
It's like okay.
And you wasn't ready.
Oh, he got the green strap European Championship.
That is the X-Pac title. Who do you associate with that title? I could X-Pac with the
I don't know if you can see. Look, it's official too. I don't know if you can see it on there. This
That's
guy's
the
You
big-
call it the
that
X Pac
is-
title for me is D'Lo Brown.
I was about to say
Yeah,
D'Lo
this the
all
D'Lo
day, baby.
title.
You
I
looking
don't-
at the real deal. That's right, baby.
I remember D'Lo and X-Pac beefing on that. Like that was one of my
All the
favorite
time.
beefs when it came to, and I just remember that title being green. I was like, oh, that strap is dark green. It's like a dark emerald green. But okay, touche, brother Brandon. I'm just gonna go ahead and just shine it up real nice. Turn it sideways. Turn it sideways to straighten the camera. How about that?
Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep looking at it.
No, there you go. Just get a good view at it.
I'm
But
trying to
yeah,
reach out.
there you go. Just manifest it. There you go.
First
Disrespect,
time I ever
gentlemen.
heard you say that word.
I say a lot of words. I just don't say them on air.
That's right.
Oh, geez, it's gonna be one of those nights. But look at the brother Raj. Okay.
Uncle Raj.
Disrespect, man. Listen, it's almost like controversy, right? We
Oh,
talked about this a
shoot.
few weeks ago. Wait a minute. We gotta time out.
Hold on, we got to address this. What happened, bro?
Are you missing a stone or something?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah,
What's
Oh
wrong?
no.
Oh no!
come on, bro.
Oh, welcome to my world. Because my piece of my title like broke off, and I'm like,
It just-
nope, gotta get it
It
fixed.
just happened. Like I just
Hey, you done been everywhere in that belt. It's been.
He's showing a
it's been to LA, it's been to New York.
Brian
it's
Nix's
been
wrestling run
San
title
Antonio.
has been on tour.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Brother Hughes went out the country though.
His
Yeah, it
definitely
did.
went
It
to
did.
Mexico. Was it Mexico?
It was Mexico.
It was Mexico. That's different.
might
I don't
go-
think.
Mhm.
It might go to England.
Hey, do
It
do
might
it.
go to Sweden. I
Hey.
mean, it's going around the
I ain't
world,
mad
man.
at you.
I mean, it's global. Isn't that what it is? Global.
Yep.
Look. My uncle, when we was at Raw, he was like, "Yo, I like that. Now that's legit right there." Now he gave me my first belt, so he
Yeah.
put a stamp of approval on this one.
Perfect.
That definitely goes a long way. That belt is a beauty, Brian. I'm looking like that thing is clean, isn't it? That's nice. Good job, brother Brad. I admire your work, sir.
Yeah, he's best
You're
in the
welcome.
world.
Is he? Don't you stop when he got a beef with CM Punk. Speaking of disrespect, this is all
Before we
coming
go to
natural.
disrespect, can I just recommend what I watched because I think y'all should all take a look at this.
Okay,
Go
brother
back.
Brennan, go ahead.
Go back to NXT UK,
Okay,
Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm
got it.
That's
for the women's title.
Okay,
That match hits harder than what it should have. You
Mhm.
see a lot of Rhea Ripley now in that match than you saw Rhea Ripley going through NXT. Like you could tell she lost some confidence in NXT, but NXT UK when she came not looking like Charlotte, like we hear a story about how she said she had to change up her look. That match hit so hard for not only being the two women, and I don't know about the European style of women wrestling, but going back and watching, I'm like, oh, this is Rhea Ripley that we have now. She just
you're right,
she
bro.
was like this. She just had to get back to this. And I don't know if it's because our dance partner was Toni Storm, but that match, woo! And then remember, they had a second match, and she took the title off of Rhea, but then Kylie Ray took it off of Toni. So all of the women matches were on fire.
Nah, facts. Tony Storm's legit.
Oh yeah, and it was just the things that we don't remember: the power bomb on the apron, the throwing each other into the barricade. I was like, these women was hitting hard, and they were showing we're gonna have a good match. And I think that was the main event of that show, right? When they crowned the champion of that NXT UK. I forgot what the name of the show was, but
you know what? No. This is a perfect segue because once again, tonight's show is about disrespect, and Toni Storm now in AEW after her time in WWE NXT, and I believe she left right before the Triple H era kind of. And speaking of AEW's getting a new show, AEW Collision. Did you gentlemen see the logo for AEW Collision on TNT? What? This
It looks good.
You're saying it looks good. You know why? You know why it looks good to you, Hollywood? Brian Nate Waters.
It's so familiar.
It's because it looks like WCW Monday Nitro on TNT. And I said, there's no way in the world you convinced me that Tony Khan did not do this on purpose as a slight to Eric Bischoff. Is because Eric Bischoff
that
trashed
was
him.
a slap in his face.
Eric Bischoff trashed him about his TV deals and trashed him about his product. And now they signed this big money deal with Warner Brothers. And it seemed like he was sticking it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know if the show is going to be it's going to be successful enough for Warner Brothers. Okay. It may not be as successful in comparison to AEW competing with the WWE, right? So we're in two different arenas, right? When you're looking at see, Brian, you can't hang like Stephanie because she had hers the whole time.
No,
Well, because Stephanie wasn't typing and tweeting.
Oh,
at
okay,
the
that's
same time.
fair. My fault. You're working. I apologize. So like AEW is successful TV wise, right? Because apparently Warner Brothers is satisfied with the ratings that it's bringing in. Like it doesn't need to be better than WWE. They just need it to fill the spot well, right? That's a TV conversation, and I think that is what's going to be crucially beneficial for AEW because the lifeblood of everybody knows the lifeblood of any professional wrestling organization to its survival is a TV deal. Same thing with NWA and Turner, followed by WCW and then WWE with the TV deals they have. Even with MLW or Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor at one point was owned by a network TV station and Sinclair Broadcasting. You know what I mean? So having that money allows you the flexibility. So with AEW has success that they're having on any of the Warner Brothers television products, TBS, TNT, they've locked themselves into a very successful and lucrative deal going forward, which is why I think a lot of people are going to jump ship because there's going to be guaranteed money involved, like a Drew Galloway. Yep, they got a new TV deal like Bray Wyatt. All of them. Tony can afford to pay those guys now. It's 2 shows. Anyway, so I saw the logo and I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, wow, if that's not WCW Monday Nitro ish, I don't think it gets any more disrespectful than that. But good brothers, what are some of the most disrespectful moments in professional wrestling that you guys enjoyed the most? Now, come on now. We've watched a lot of wrestling. We've seen a lot of things. And like I said, I think disrespect should be part of the definition of what professional wrestling is. So, Brother Raj, hold, Brother Raj. I never said AW wouldn't last. Did I?
Right.
I gotta go back to one of those shows and see if I said anything slick out the mouth. I always say we'll see. But yeah,
I thought you said we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely said we'll see. I know for a fact it was never made a statement on this show or in this brand that company would not last. I know that's something that was never made.
That's right. Get your facts right. Get your facts right, Unc.
I always gave
come for one, come for all.
I always gave, like, brother, he didn't even he was like, yeah, he just waiting on the side, he's looking for a fight. I always gave them the benefit of I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I said we'll see. If I'm never hesitant about what I don't like. I'm very opinionated, but I don't think I've ever gone to the degree so they're going to shut down. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I do know that I remember saying that the TV deals was look, he says remember clearly. I don't. Too bad. But yeah, I got to go back and watch the footage. I might have said it. I don't know. I don't remember saying it, but yeah, AEW has a new TV deal. I know they're struggling with their live events now. I know there was there's a huge difference in regards to attendance because the new car smell is worn off.
Don't let him wear you off. We got disrespect to talk.
Yeah, so no, it's cool because he was.
I meant throw you off. I said wear you off.
No, because if it's directly into it, it's because Brother Raj thought I was being quite disrespectful to AEW. And in all fairness to Brother Raj, to Unc, AEW is the first alternative that he got a chance to really get into. He wasn't into Ring of Honor the way we were in its heyday. Yeah. So he was a part of that group that was like, I just want something different. And we
were talking themes earlier.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor 2012, they had some bangers. Kevin Steen.
Brian H had all those themes on his wrestling playlist in his car. If you
what did?
That music was hard.
They were
right.
Bro,
hard.
what that Kevin Steen? Yeah, that was they were. I call them Do Burn Special. Do Burns Arena Specials. Do Burn Specials. Like he had a whole playlist, and then God rest. So you heard "Reach for the Sky, boy." I was like, oh, okay.
Wow, right.
Yep.
And then
I don't remember Prince Nana's theme, but it was a banger because that means you knew Mia Yim was coming out.
There you
go. Exactly. And that's all that mattered.
Yeah, her hoochie mama dress.
That's hard to believe now.
Yep. It was Princess Mia. Everybody used to go crazy for Princess Mia, and then when Maria Kanellis used to come out with the Kingdom.
Yep.
Everybody used to go nuts. But that's just a little Ring of Honor nostalgia. But back to disrespect. I'll tell you a disrespectful moment when freaking Jim Cornette suspended Kevin Steen. Anyway,
There we go.
let's stay on track. Some of the most disrespectful moments in all of pro
Oh,
wrestling.
Dylan brought up one, and I was
What
gonna
it-
go.
see,
Trish Stratus.
Dylan's on. He's starting the show already. That's why I like Dylan. He's already in part of the show already.
Dylan, what time is it over there? I lost track of our hourly distance. I know.
He's in Australia.
Yeah.
Hey, mate.
Okay, so he says that moment when Trish Stratus came out. Let's put it on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put it on the screen. Yeah.
Move my bad. It says that. Oh, wrestling is crazy. That episode of SmackDown when Trish came out and made out with Vince in front of Linda in the wheelchair.
That was wild.
Golly, man.
That was wild.
I mean, does it get any more disrespectful than that? He said it's 1:22 p.m. Thursday. Wow, he's ahead of us. Do you guys remember that SmackDown?
Very
Yes.
vividly.
You see how fast everybody answered. I think when it comes to professional wrestling, if you don't have some sort of disrespect, it takes away the versatility of the type of entertainment you could enjoy. For example, Vince McMahon making out with a new woman in front of his wife is in a wheelchair. I mean,
mute.
Yeah, that was I don't remember what it was that had her mute.
Vince had told her
he was he took pills or something.
Yeah, because she had a nervous breakdown.
That's what it was. And he was pilling her up.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even joke about stuff like that nowadays.
Right, you can't, bro. Like,
you better not say nothing about no pills, and mental health, anything.
From everything. WWE shit.
Man.
Shut down now.
But yeah, what? I'm sorry, I don't.
So I was going to go into a Trish Stratus moment,
but
I was going into the ruthless aggression era.
By all means.
Y'all remember that night when she showed up during Kane and Lita's wedding? She had on just her lingerie.
Huh?
That was disrespectful. I mean, for goodness sake, they were trying to get married.
That was actually like trending recently on Twitter. Like that video was floating around, like probably yesterday or today.
See, look, Brian is he loves Trish Stratus, even if she is 47 years old.
What? 47?
Ain't no wrong with that.
I don't see it, brother.
She was disrespectful. Like heel Trish is, and this is what I've been like. I know I ain't gonna get that version, but like, I mean, even now she mentioned Becky's baby.
See, that's when you go. That's when you go below disrespectful.
She mentioned Becky's baby.
Brother Brandon, what's one of the most disrespectful moments that you've ever witnessed in professional wrestling? One that stood out to you the most, where you're like, "Oh, that's disrespectful," and one that kind of made you cringe a little bit. You go, "Oof, I don't know about that. That might have went too far." Do you have any? Is there anything that comes to mind right away?
Well, it's actually 3 moments, but I'm gonna give you one of the ones that I hate that it's another Vince McMahon moment, but the Kiss My You Know What Club.
Oh yeah,
because I remember watching. I'm like, this is the boss. And somebody thought this would be a good idea. And when he did it to JR, and I was like, and I'm glad the payoff is what we got. But every week, somebody doing it, William Regal, these respected people and us fans' eyes. And it was like, oh, come on now. And then he said it like, come on, this is what you're going to do. And I'm like, is he enjoying this? Is this the McMahon character? Because everybody that met him has said that he's a really nice person. But then to see that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. To see what?
To see him do that, it was like, this is the boss, and it's like anything grounded in real life, I feel like is more disrespectful because you're like, it's got to have some sting behind it. Like, how can you look this man in the face the next day after he made you do this in front of millions of people?
Can I ask you a question? Why are you saying somebody? God dang well, it was Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I said it because usually every time we say it, that we have technical difficulties.
Why do you think I keep saying somebody?
It was Vince.
Right.
It was somebody's idea. God dang well whose idea it was.
Right. Just like Trish, barking like a dog, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pure Ignorance. They got all the gold. I just want to give them a quick shout out. They watching. Probably brother Chaz on running an account. But yeah.
No, that's definitely one of the most disrespectful. I think brother Raj probably brought up the most disrespectful moment there was. Vince
I still
McMahon
got 2 more, but I'm gonna wait.
Yes.
Okay, no, we can jump right into it. Vince McMahon mocking God. Oh my gosh,
wild.
When
that was wild.
Bro, remember he was beefing with Shawn Michaels, and everybody knows Shawn Michaels came back. Don't laugh, yo.
Because that was horrible.
Yo,
It was so bad.
when he showed up at the church,
Yes, that
oh
was
my
so
gosh.
bad. It
And he
made you
went-
go, ooh.
bro, and oh man, and then he went to it was the Catholic church, and there's like the holy water where you dip your fingers in the sign of a cross, and he took his hand, he took a sip of it. I was like, no.
He
I
was
was like,
just,
Vince McMahon is going to get struck by lightning, and WWE's going to be finished.
I always watched read Shawn Michaels' book to hear what he had to say about it, and it was very interesting. You know, he didn't like go super in on it, but you know, he talks about it. Actually, you have the book. like where's my book? Like,
Do I still have it?
Yeah, bro. I don't think you ever read, I don't know if you read it yet.
No, I did. I got about halfway through it. I struggle with books.
except for comic books.
Yeah,
Comic
because comic books there's plenty of pictures. I don't mean to put my
Right.
business in the streets, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, brother. And it was a good read though. It was the book is about Shawn Michaels' his journey back to wrestling, right? It talks about where he was in regards to how to approach him being who he was, even after being a born again Christian, and understanding
good about it.
Yeah, understanding he was still in the entertainment business, you know what I mean? Which means buttons are going to be pushed and limits are going to, kind of be pushed to the edge as well. But man, I don't think he gets any more disrespect. Like he was like Vince McMahon versus God. I'm gonna tell you the sick sadistic part about that whole situation was when Vince McMahon kept saying, like, people kept warning me, like, God's gonna, that you keep messing around, like something bad could possibly happen. And he kept saying, what I was kind of hoping God would kind of rise to the occasion. Somebody said, you'd rather get struck by lightning for the sake of entertainment. He's like, I was hoping God. I was a little disappointed because I was hoping that God would rise to the occasion and kind of smite me a little bit, and it would have been great television. I said, that's what's wrong with you McMahons. You guys will do anything, and they will. Like,
yeah.
When I watched, I don't know if it was the McMahon documentary or the McMahon
DVD.
The DVD with the half Vince McMahon, half the Mr. McMahon thing, and they interviewed all the family, like from Stephanie, Linda, Shane, and Vince. They all are nuts like that, like including Linda.
He fought his own daughter in Baltimore.
Yeah, I was about to say,
He fought his own daughter.
Yo, they got fined for that too.
Yeah, by the commission.
All the stuff they was doing. Yeah, the commission.
Yeah,
don't
so
matter.
he
He
can't get
just wrote him a
PLEs
check. He ain't
now.
care.
Exactly.
I said also all you guys are nuts. They will do anything, but you know that the Hart family was the same way. When I found out that disrespectful. I'm gonna go back. We get back to you, brother Brandon. When Jerry Lawler was saying all that stuff about Stu and Helen Hart, I watch that stuff now and I used to cringe. And the only reason I don't cringe as much now is because Bret Hart talks about how much they loved it. Like he used to tear Stu and Helen Hart, like all the old dinosaur jokes. He used to burn them up. I used to be like,
child, I hated Jerry for that.
oh, he was. And you would look at his parents. His parents used to be so sweet and so old. And you'd be like, bro, why is he picking with the senior citizens right now? And he used to say some of the grimy. Jerry Lawler was wild. You talking about somebody disrespectful?
He definitely was wild.
Dude was wild. But the fact that, like, I'm talking, I was grown, bro. I was like, nah, my parents loved every last bit of it. I was like, oh, thank God, because Jerry Lawler used to say some disrespectful stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's just, that's a few of the things I'm just like, man, it seems like disrespect and pro wrestling go hand in hand. Brother Brandon, go ahead. You had two of the moments that regarded. We'll go back to calling him whose name shall not be named because we always have technical difficulties.
No, that was the only one involving him.
Okay,
the other
go ahead.
One
What's
is involving two wrestlers that I just don't like. It is a common knowledge. I don't like them. But anything, like I said,
Brian is just smirking already.
It's rooted in reality. And I'm telling you, when Triple H in August of 2011 and CM Punk, Triple H dug in the. I don't care what anybody say. Triple H had to get some stuff off his chest. And he did promos.
He did.
And when he told him, he called him a skinny
fat. Yo, he burnt him up.
And then when he said, yeah, you only for it. You the voice of the voiceless as long as you're the voiceless. Like everything that he said, when he told him, shut up. Let me tell you something because I'm tired of you talking about my family. I said, oh, Triple H is mad. Like, oh.
He was pissed.
And you could tell it was like, and Punk just sitting there with a smirk on his face like, okay, go ahead, get it off your. I'm like, no, Triple H is serious. I don't care what anybody say. That wasn't the cerebral assassin. That was Paul Levesque saying, I'm sick of you, CM Punk, because I don't like you. And it was just like
it was funny, Brandon. The funny part about that promo, I know you're telling the truth, is because if you watch it, right, CM Punk is kind of going into his diatribe, and you just see kind of like Triple H kind of look down and chuckle and smirk a little bit, like, "Oh, so you want to go there? No, you know what? Okay." And then
Let's go
he just lit a fuse. I was like, "Ooh, that's."
He said, "I put my personal feelings aside and did this for you. I paid cult of personality. I mean, 11. I mean, what you call it for cult of personality? Yeah." And he said, "And I paid for that shirt for you to be wearing." I was like,
Now we're getting a little too real.
Yeah, I said, "Oh, he put it all out there." He's like, "I did all this because the fans wanted me to." And then the part that got me the most is when he said, "Could the WWE be better? Yeah, but some people enjoy this, and you just here to ruin it." I was like, I said, "You talking about a pipe bomb?" No, that was a drop the mic moment. So it was a form. And when I say disrespect, because it was grounded in reality, that you ain't had to go that hard on him, Triple H. You didn't have to bury that man like that.
Brother Hugh, did you have any particular disrespectful moments that stood out to you as a wrestling fan? Moments that you said, "God dang, that's disrespectful."
One of the first ones that pop up in mind is was it Charlotte Flair and Paige, but she talked about Reed.
Oh,
I forgot about that, bro.
Oh no,
I forgot.
And I forgot that the word was that they didn't even notify the family that they was going to use that line.
Oof. Oh
that night.
No.
So it was just like, oh my gosh, that was a big
That's
slap
a
in the
bad
face.
taste, man.
Flair, the whole family, everything. Like,
and Paige didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So
I forgot all about. I put that out of my mind because you could tell Paige regretted it as soon as she said it.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like she regretted whatever she said on AEW, and she's like, "Man, Tony made me say that."
Couldn't tell Paige. She was uncomfortable that whole promo.
I mean, you could say no though. Like I didn't think you could back in the day, but somebody can say, "Man, I'm not saying this, bro. I got to figure this out." What about you, Brian H? You got any more disrespectful moments that stood out to you? I have one. You guys are gonna laugh, especially Brother Brandon, because it's up his wheelhouse. But go ahead, Brian H. You got any?
If it's the one I'm thinking, because I got one more. If it's the same one, I'm gonna die laughing.
Okay, here we go. Good, Brian H. What do you got?
No, I mean, Sunny Days.
Oh man!
Yep.
Oh my God,
man.
I think that's the moment when they really started hating each other.
That's what it was, though.
It is.
They were trying to figure stuff, because at first it was a professional jealousy, like two guys trying to be top guys, and then it was just like, oof. Because as bad as it was, I heard at one point. This is just from years and years of hearing these stories and reading some of these pages from books, not the whole books, because and read it, like watching these documentaries. It sounded like they had a Kobe and Shaq thing going on at one point, where they were like, we trust me, we're good together, just trust me, and they had a natural distrust of each other in the ring, and they came out with magic every time they had a chance to get in the ring, man. But it seemed like as if at that point something always has to happen where things get personal. Brian H. and that promo was, it
led to like, you remember when they came out the DVD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Brett walked so Shawn could run.
Yep.
But as things started, like you said, that professional jealousy, especially when Brett's like, "All right, I'm going up the ranks. I'm getting ready to pass you the torch," and then he realizes, like, wait, Shawn wants me to be in this clique. I think we should all work hard. We don't need to, buddy and collaborate. Because, they approached Brett about being in a clique. But then when, Brett came back and kind of like, all right, want my, top spot. Like, like, let's work together. But even like he said, when he said what he said, now you got his father. Brett said he didn't get it. But then his father called like, so what's going on with you and Sonny? And then his wife said stuff. So now you causing problems at home, bro. When the whole time Shawn was the one that was with Sonny.
I think
that's the crazy part.
I think Brett was with Sonny too. I'm not dry snitching. It's public knowledge now, but
I think Brett thought he had.
Right? She said, I don't know.
It is common knowledge. I mean, in Brett's book, he talks about he had a woman over here and a woman over there. That was his vice. He wasn't doing the drugs. He did steroids. But
that was freaking Shawn Michaels. He was an unloosed. So he was liable to say anything out of his mouth during those times.
Exactly, and that's when, and that led to them like getting into a legit fist fight where Brett pulled the hair out.
Yep. Big Texas wrestling fan. And after this, we're gonna get back to you, Brother Brandon.
Was good.
Big Texas wrestling fan said the current Kurt Angle, Karen Angle, and Jeff Jarrett brought to TV. Whew, we had this conversation on the controversial show, the show we did about controversy, right?
Yes, we did.
Our controversy creates cash, man. And
that was actually scary how bad it got.
Bro, that just because I watched Kurt Angle say that he did not want to do it, but they all were in such a bad space mentally and financially. Like, Jeff Jarrett is.
I was just kind of that, Dylan.
Yeah, like he had just kind of, got in. He was, his wife had just passed away. He had been dealing with Kurt Angle. He got married again. Right to one of your coworkers, and then Kurt Angle wanted his release from TNA, and he was going through so many issues as far as his addictions, as far as pain pills, and I believe alcohol. I could be wrong. So and then he was like, "Look, man, we're all going through this. Let's in true business fashion, let's try to make some money from it." And I thought, all I remember,
stop wrestling. He couldn't stop wrestling.
He didn't want to go to rehab. He didn't want to stop. He just kept taking 30. When you taking 30 and 50 pills, like you're trying to end your life. But I had no idea that he was going through all that at the time, and he was trying to, I just remember lots of blood. Like I remember just blood everywhere. It was like, dude, they got a lot of color in this match, but it's too much because I know, and I knew something was up. It's because I'm like, no, that was his real life wife, and now she's really married to Jeff Jarrett. And they all like work together. Like Kurt Angle, Macho Man told us a long time ago, don't bring your wife into the business, brother. And then Diamond Dallas Page didn't listen. A lot of guys didn't listen, but I mean, that's one of the moments that very disrespectful. So thanks, shout out to Big Texas wrestling fan for that one. Brother Brandon, you had one more.
My most disrespectful moment in WWE history, because we still feeling the effects today.
Okay.
When Adam Cole cut that promo,
bro, I was thinking the same thing.
I was thinking
the same thing.
I was hoping he was.
I was thinking the same thing, bro.
Right since that.
Oh, he really has it though.
He said all they got to do is make me feel special is ring the bell. I said, this man, his career is over. And he killed Karrion Kross' career. He killed it. Karrion Kross ain't
he's such a nice guy, bro.
Karrion Kross.
That's why Adam Cole didn't have to go that hard on him though.
Bro,
Adam Cole, he buried that man and killed his confidence in that same match. I
remember telling Brian H. I said, man, if that had some more Shawn Michaels sauce on it, I don't know what to do.
Shawn Michaels sauce, Triple H dust,
bro.
You name it.
Brother, you make that graphic, bro. We got Shawn Michaels sauce and Triple H dust.
I know Adam. First of all, Adam Cole adores Shawn Michaels. That's one of his guys. Triple H's guys. Like I know he said, Sean, how do I deliver this? Go ahead.
I was gonna say he dressed up in the Shawn Michaels suit for a photo shoot.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That
like
man,
I know
man
Sean, what should I do? Sean probably said, go out there and tear him apart. That's what I would have done. If I get in trouble, so what? I apologize later.
The whole machine behind you. You got the lights. You got the entrance.
He said, you know what they got to do to make you feel special?
You make me feel special? Ring the bell.
I said, you got to have the smoke. You got to have the lights.
You got the lady. You got the whole machine behind
you. He said, you know what they got to do to make me feel special? Ring the bell. He's sitting like this with a scrunched face like this.
That was
trying to be like in character. Trying to be in character.
He's a little bit taller than him. He was like this holding the mic. He was like, you want to hear this? So you know it's coming from my soul when I say this.
How would he came back? He would have had to punch him.
He had to.
You would have to. Straight up.
That's the only
straight up.
Yo, he would have had to pluck him.
I can't think of no other way.
Imagine if that promo would have been on Raw or SmackDown for more people to see.
Oh, he got burnt up.
The crowd would have been chanting, ring the bell or something. You know what I mean?
Depending on where they were at when that happened. God forbid,
Philly.
Philly. Yeah. Oh no.
And then
we'd be chanting "Ring the bell" when Adam Cole comes to the ring now instead of.
And then Drew McIntyre told him an hourglass don't go TikTok.
Bro, he hasn't had an hourglass ever since.
He hasn't.
Somebody in the back said. Somebody in the back said, "You know what? This doesn't make sense, man. Let's just scrap this." Okay, don't take the hourglass up there anymore. He said an hourglass doesn't go TikTok. To ink dead Karrion Kross still making faces. I was like, yo, they killing my man right now.
I said, they giving him too much freedom. I said,
I like Karrion Kross too.
But I do too.
He just
like,
doesn't.
That man ain't been the same since.
You know what? He hasn't. Oh man,
he belts back.
Oh man, He's
they
go
won't
ahead.
let him do his full entrance to get him over. I mean, I think that was part of his whole the machine being behind him. He really hasn't had a decent anything, and like
Nothing's
it's
sticking with my man, yeah. Like,
Bro, and sometimes it's just not them, it's you.
the crazy part is like I like the thing that he does where he's like taking something from people. Where it's like even in his losses, he's like, I took who did he beef with first? His first feud was with
Ray.
Mysterio?
He
No,
took something from
Drew.
Ray.
no Drew. He said like I took Drew's temperament, like I took his patience or self control away, and you know, and he lost. He's like, and I took who did he fight? Now he fought.
Then it was Ray, right?
I thought it was Seth Rollins. No, who did he fought? He fought
It was
somebody at
before Ray.
Extreme Rules. No, it was
Drew was Extreme Rules.
It was Drew. Then it was like Ray. He's like, Ray, I took Ray's love for his son away or something like that. I took his something because he's his, like I said, we've had his gimmick is like, I may lose, but I win the war because I turn you into something that you didn't mean to be. Kind of like this Joker, Batman, Dark Knight type thing. Like I don't care about beating you. I care about you turning into what I told you were going to turn into. And then he said the same thing about Shinsuke. That was short-lived. He was like, I'm going to take Shinsuke's honor, and then Shinsuke got drafted to Raw. It's just sorry, Karrion Kross.
It's I shouldn't have
It's just
to
not sticking, man.
To get all that. Like I need to be able to see that on TV. I
Yeah,
don't need to go to the internet.
I don't
Like,
need to
you
explain it to
explain
me.
that to me, bro.
Why are you
Now-
putting
now,
it in
you
a
would
like I got 1 + 1 =
you the best in the world, what you do. But right, Brandon's right. I shouldn't have to go home from school and go in the Google machine to figure out what
What is he talking
1
about?
+ 1 = 2. I need to get that from the teacher.
Yeah,
You're right. Wrestling is supposed to be simple. It's not supposed to be that complicated.
Well, at least show it to me in a promo.
Yeah,
Don't just
it's
be
simple.
sitting in a cloudy room talking about something here. The tarot cards, my next victim. So you lost. They're not victims. Like I hate to tell you, but
Yeah. I mean, there's been a ton of disrespectful moments. To name a few, anything with The Rock and Stephanie McMahon, anything with
Stephanie
Chris,
McMahon, anybody.
I was about to say Jericho on this.
When they
Chris-
tag team,
Chris Jericho and Stephanie McMahon.
Hey,
I gotta work my words.
Yeah, because I don't think we have ratings for this show, but the heel side is coming out.
Rock and Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Anything The Rock, anybody got to go toe to toe with The Rock outside of Steve Austin, you're in trouble because he was killing people. Like, he
Blame
was just-
Triple H for that because when The Rock was getting killed by Triple H, he couldn't take it no more. And he was like, "Look, if you either sink or swim."
He started going
And
off
ever
the
since
cuff.
he became a menace.
Is it? Yeah, the indie. Is there any more? In any other? Trust me, there's centuries of disrespectful moments in professional wrestling. But are there any more that stand out to you outside of like Medusa dropping the WWF Women's title in the trash can on national TV, or
Them firing
Nikki
Lita.
Cross missing the trash can.
You said who?
Lita.
Nikki Cross missing the
yeah.
trash. Oh,
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yo, that
what
was
about,
so
what about your boy
awkward.
Roddy Piper, bro?
What do you mean?
Blackface.
Yeah, blackface Roddy Piper got away with some stuff in the 80s.
Same thing with X-Pac.
Shoot, when they did the DX angle, he was dressed as
yep.
Mark Henry.
That whole thing.
Mhm.
Both time when they do the spoofs was disrespectful.
Yeah, because
right.
Billy Gunn had the blackface, or even better, Durag Vince, ECW champion.
Yep.
What's up, man? And he just like, oh no.
And Booker T looked at him.
He said, what?
Tell
I mean, he
me,
doesn't say that.
He did not say
that. They pushed the envelope, man. God dang, this is disrespectful. We gotta this is more than I realized. But as we wrap this up, we're going to talk about the main event of the driving force behind this particular show and why we're talking. Oh, Dylan said Gilbert. That's funny. Why we're talking
Baltimore
about
native
you gonna stop talking about my man's, bro. Stop talking about my man's Gilbert, man.
He live around the corner.
I showed my man Gilbert respect when I remember we saw him at what was it called? Rally at the Alley or something?
Was it?
Remember when
what you call it at White Marsh?
MCW ran that show right outside of Stella Rosa's. The rest of it, remember?
Yeah.
That's where I met Goldust.
Wasn't Matt Hardy there too?
Matt Hardy was the one of them.
Yep.
He was at one of them. Yeah, I do remember seeing Goldust though.
Yeah, and Brother Brennan had us putting all those RCW flyers on everybody's car at the Avenue.
Right.
It was a whole ton of them. I can tell you now, brother. I had a bunch of them left over. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can tell you now. It's like that was like almost like 10 years ago. But yeah, but it's a lot of disrespect.
Stella Rosa. Did you say Stella Rosa?
Oops,
Yeah,
what I
he
said.
said
And then
Stella.
when that wine,
Stella
Isn't that a
Rosa is
wine?
the beer.
Oh, oops, that's a beer.
It's
My
Della
fault.
Rosa's.
Della Rosa's, my bad. I was all wrong. Like, oh yeah, Stella Rosa's. And
If we was
like,
agreeing,
what?
we like, yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
that's another one.
Pepper.
Hold on. Oh man, Dylan is. Look at this.
Dylan cooking, man.
When Boss
Dylan,
Man
he
killed
definitely is
Al
on
Snow's
fire.
dog and cooked it, and he fed it to him, like take a bite. Al Snow's an idiot. Why would you eat it? Like,
He was
you
sitting
know
there-
you're beef.
Yeah, you're
He was-
right. You know
He was
you're
beefing with Boss Man. Like, why would you think Boss Man really was? And it's a corporation, Boss Man. Like, why did you think he was trying to make amends with you? Like, you
Yo,
should have
how
known
about
better.
that repackaging Big Boss Man?
Bro,
You
it's-
know?
I think it's one of the most successful repackages to this day
Absolutely.
because he went from being kind of corny to being like a legit enforcer.
He was 80s, so it was like what he was supposed to be.
He definitely was 80s. Yep.
You know, and then come back in the 90s. He was Attitude Era-esque.
Yeah, he fit right in. And, you know, he was
Attitude Era. That was,
and he was doing a bunch of
that's his
nothing.
time.
He was doing a bunch of nothing in WCW at the time. You know what I mean? He was just
Guardian
Ray
Angel.
Yeah, he was Ray Trailer. Like when I first started watching wrestling again, I remember he was Ray Trailer. He was beefing with the NWA. You just got kicked out, and you know whoever got kicked out was the guy that was always joining in with the WCW guys. And I was like, wait a minute, ain't that Big Boss Man? But yeah, man, his second run was definitely notable. And he played a major part during that era, which is
Brother
really,
Raj
really
with
cool.
a follow-up dunk.
Oh, what did you say?
He dragged the Big Show during.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no!
Yo,
that's good.
Man,
And
this
he
is why
holding on to the casket while
this
he's
is why I'm-
driving, trying to hold on.
This is why I'm so glad that you guys are part of the show. Because oh man, he took off. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. He took off. First of all, Boss Man got to the funeral. He gets in the car and he just peels off with the casket with Big Show's pappy. And Big Show's big behind, like trying to jump and try to stop. Just the scene of Boss Man just riding off with the casket flying behind it, and just 7-foot Big Show, naked face, shaved face Big Show.
Right.
Just
With
trying
hair.
to.
He had long hair,
man, with that long plaited ponytail.
Did you see how he bounced off the?
Bro, I think he broke the casket because I was like, bro, this is a dent in that thing now. It was
That was
unreal.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I appreciate that one. Definitely shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Uncle Raj from the Flexo, man. Those are all good moments. But
What about,
With,
what about ECW, the crucifixion?
oh
Oh
man.
my gosh.
That lost
Like,
them
just-
Kurt Angle.
Bro, that's
Right.
that we were just talking about that the other day. Like I guess Paul Heyman had brought in Kurt Angle fresh off of his Olympic trials. He turned down WWE, I believe. And he went
Yeah,
to
because he
ECW.
didn't. He told him he couldn't lose, and they was
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah, that was his whole. So he said, "I want a gold medal. Why would I lose matches?"
So he goes to ECW. First of all, I don't know what he was thinking. You know, Kurt Angle, for somebody that goes down as one of the greatest to ever lace up the pair of boots, as Triple H says. He didn't grow up a wrestling fan. Like he wasn't, you know, a diehard fan and stuff like that. So, but that was the same day that the Raven put Sandman on a crucifix and put a crown of barbed wire on his head.
Barbed wire, yep.
Raven, disrespectful. Wow. And then I know Blue Meanie and Steven Richards were both like, dude, we're Christian, and one's Christian, the other one's Catholic. They were like, nah, man, this is not cool. But you know, Paul Heyman had a way of rallying the troops to put on a product and kind of do things that they probably wouldn't have potentially done before. But yeah, man, man, I want to move on, but it's like, I feel like something else disrespectful is going to pop up. Because the reason that we're here today is the basis of what happened, what we saw on Friday Night SmackDown with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Roman Reigns came out to finally address his family. Everything seemed like it was okay for a moment. And then Roman Reigns grabbed the mic and it seemed like he was rather perturbed. And they said, oh, you thought we wasn't going to address this, huh? He begins to kind of berate and break down the Usos and their recent losing streak and how they haven't been living up to the standards, according to Roman Reigns, befitting for the head of the table. And we've seen Roman disrespectful, but it got to the point where he was kind of in the Usos' face. He was putting his hands on him. He even mushed Jimmy Uso. You know, Jimmy Uso's like, come on, man, you gotta lighten up, man. We family, it's not that serious. And he's like, you think I'm playing? You think this is funny, huh? And I felt like you
think
know
I'm
what?
a clown? You think I'm a clown? I'm Ronald McDonald? I'm selling cheeseburgers?
Roman was pissed though. He really was like, yo, I'm
I was
not
waiting for him to
laughing.
yell, Solo.
Yeah.
Right.
And then and he mushes them, and I'm watching this interaction. I'm saying to myself, you know what? These guys are all brother cousins, and I call them brother. Everybody has if some people, not everybody, but I know everybody has those cousin siblings. Like y'all all kind of grew up together. Like only reason y'all not siblings is because you didn't grow up in the same house and y'all got different mamas. But everybody, they grew up like siblings. And I'm like, you know what? I think this has probably happened before. Him mushing one of the Uso twins in the face, and that's the first time in a long time I saw Jimmy Uso snap. Usually Jay's the one that's kind of off center, and Jimmy's the one to kind of try to snap him out of it, man. But he was looking like, dog, it's not that serious. And Roman made it very clear to him, like, yo, I don't find this funny at all. So the question that I posed to the good brothers is, did Roman go too far? Is he going too far? Is he doing too much? Is he crossing the line when it comes to his family? Is he being just completely disrespectful? Is he taking disrespect to a different level? I know I posed a lot of questions there, but we're just gonna take it and run with it. Brother Hugh, what do you think, sir? Because I know you I like the way you think when it comes to these type of things, because you like the disrespectful stuff, except when it's Dolph Ziggler or Kane.
Right.
Do you think Roman Reigns went too far? Was he too disrespectful, mushing his cousin in the face? And mind you, this is national television. Like everybody around the world. I watched the clip today, and I'm like, yo, that's a grown man. It just got embarrassed. Like his mom was probably watching this.
That part was disrespectful, but honestly, the whole situation, the way it went down, it wasn't disrespectful. Like you
Tell
said,
us why.
It's kind of like I said, I know I had cousins back in the day. Back in the day, we chilling, we cut up with each other. I used to cut up on Brian all the time, and we fight and we just keep it going, Yeah, that's all it is. It's family. It's family matters.
That wasn't in front of 10,000 people and on national television.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Okay. It's still family matters.
I did give Brother Hugh a leg drop.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. I didn't forget that.
Now he had a receipt for you. Oh,
yeah,
man.
he did.
Brother Brandon, did Roman Reigns go too far? Disrespectful? Yeah or nay?
I don't think he went far enough. I agree.
Whoa, you guys have let Russell really sour your minds because you guys are a bunch of jerks right now.
Because he was, so when he said you gonna do something, when somebody says that, it's usually followed up with more than a mush.
Mm-hmm. So you say he spared him because he could have plucked him. That's what you're telling me.
Because I think that they trying to, and like Brian keeps saying, we only in the second quarter, or whatever the quote was, that we still only in the second or third, whatever it is. My only thing with the bloodline, let the Usos go that way. Just give me Roman and Cody at WrestleMania 40. I'll be happy. Roman, just go home until Royal Rumble and come and point your finger or something, because the bloodline is getting boring. If you're not going to start beating up the Usos, I really, what else is left for you to do? Outside of when they win the tag titles, Roman throw it at Jimmy and Jay and say, here, I did this because you couldn't. What else is there left for him to do? I needed to be more disrespectful to them because they did lose. Roman made a good point about, why would you dedicate a tag team match to me? I'm a singles competitor. And then you lost. So that's why I'm like, I want him to be more disrespectful. Not put him in a chokehold to make the other brother say I quit because he's putting him in a chokehold. But when he starts saying, you going to do something? I expected him to Superman punch him and say, you going to learn or something. I wanted more. You could tell you guys are attitude era kids. Goodness gracious.
Absolutely.
Now, Brian H., I know you're tinkering and moving and shaking. Now you're just like Brother Brandon in this regard, that you've been very critical of this bloodline storyline now, not in a negative way, but you've made it clear on the record, you know what, it's coming down, it's we hit our peak, and now it's coming down. With that being said, now your brothers over here, man, these guys are jerks. These guys say he's not dead. Hugh said he don't see nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, over.
Brother Brandon said he didn't go far enough. Now I ask you, Brian H., I know you're a heel Hollywood Brian H. Was Roman Reigns, did he go too far? Was he disrespectful? Yay or nay?
Roman Reigns did what he had to do. See, we had this conversation months ago that Roman was paranoid, right?
That's true.
Before WrestleMania, there was the whole thing that, he got Sammy right here, and Sammy could catch him slipping. Now, actually, let's go back before that. It was KO, then it was Sammy, then Cody. Well, he done got rid of all of them. He done beat them all. He's back on top. He trying to go back to sit back and enjoy steaks. That's the reason why he went on vacation. For all you marks out there crying about Roman not being there every week, not having the belt. First of all, his presence is still known. It ain't like Brock Lesnar when you didn't know. He was just holding the belt, but you didn't know what he was doing.
That's true.
And everybody
he would just
was
show up.
That's why I say he can be gone to WrestleMania. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Roman is still there. He's still got tabs, and guess what? He's actually got some house shows scheduled. So the whole thing is, the Usos, it's time to celebrate. They don't put this hard work in, but he need the Usos to have those tag titles. And they had no reason to dedicate it to him if they didn't get the job done, especially when he didn't ask for it. So, you do what you got to do. Now, the Usos need to wake up and realize it's two of them versus one of him. But Roman has this family in a chokehold because Solo has paired with Big Uso, that's the cousin, over his own blood brothers. That's the problem. How do you have him so far? Because what is he promising Solo? Solo getting the rides in the limos. He's getting to fly on the private jets.
He got his
He
own
done
shirt.
wine and dine Solo to the point he's turned on his brothers.
Him and Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman treated
This
Usos like they Sami Zayn at the beginning.
Yeah.
And guess what? Whose fault is it? It's everybody but Jay's fault. Because Jay told them, keep Sammy out of it. And then when they finally let Sammy in, Sammy had a hard decision to make. It wasn't like, we ain't gonna act like Sammy wanted to turn on KO. He just wanted them to stop. He didn't want them to kill him. But he chose KO. And it's their fault. If they would have just let Sammy stay out of it, because Jay already saw it. So yeah, Roman doing what he gotta do, even though it's all it's his fault too.
That was
definitely is.
The explanation was absolutely amazing. Like I didn't want to say nothing after that. That was absolutely that was good stuff, man. This is starting to turn to like one of my favorite shows already, because I was like, yeah, that was really, really good. Anytime you can change my mind about something. Because I thought he was quite disrespectful, but now I'm saying to myself, well, god dang it, maybe Reigns, maybe what we're saying from Reigns is just a sign of greatness, right? Maybe he's not being disrespectful. Maybe he just has a high standard that his family is just naturally held to. And
bingo,
we all know the history of the Wild Samoans. They were a minority. They were unjustly not paid on the same wage, and their careers didn't last as long as they possibly should. And let's be real, it had a lot to do with them not being white Americans in the spotlight during their time period, but love to celebrate it now, because if you look at the fruits of their labor, Roman Reigns says, I'm dedicating this to the greatest tag team of ever, the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, his daddy and his uncle. And I was like, man, after a while I'm like, well, shoot, is the tribal chief being disrespectful? Or is he just trying to keep his cousins in line so they don't lose focus now that they've lost their tag titles? What happens to the Usos if they just fail to even get close to regaining those tag titles? Do you see that their time in the bloodline is either numbered, or it's because I don't think it's going to be numbered. I think Roman will always keep them around, but he's going to constantly disrespect them and kind of pick with them a little bit, kind of like probably when they were kids. And it's crazy because I'm watching them and I'm saying to myself, I feel like this has probably happened before, maybe 15 to 20 years ago with this group. But what happens to the Usos if they fail to get back to the mountaintop as far as championships are concerned?
See, I like Brother Brandon's explanation. Wait, did you say it on the show? Yeah, I like that. Roman wins the belts and say here. But if they lose it, it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah,
because now you just lost something I gave you.
But I want him to be disrespectful to the point that when he come back to the locker room, he give Jimmy one and Jay the other on red and blue. Say, here, y'all got to defend it with Solo. I did the work.
You
get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want him to be like that level of like, I did what you couldn't. To prove that he's still dominant. Because, and I told Brother Hugh, it's a reason they say that Paul Heyman chose his words wisely. He said, the bloodline will get one more chance at the tag team belts. He didn't say the Usos, he said the bloodline. So I smell Freebird rules coming.
I think that's very much a possibility, but that's my cat squealing.
I
I just heard him squealing at the door. No, I'm not letting you in. I'm on the show. But the crazy part is, it's just like it to your point, brother Brandon. The disrespect doesn't stop only in his interaction. Now we're gonna have this one last round because we're about to close. We're not gonna be burning midnight all too long. We're already there, but we're not gonna go too long. You guys already made it clear. You guys made it very clear. You don't feel like his actions against his brother cousins was too disrespectful. We even had one or two you guys, aka brother Brandon and brother Hugh, who decided one, it wasn't disrespectful. The other one said he wasn't disrespectful enough, or he wasn't. You know, they lucky that what they received was what they received. Now, we established that we don't think that part is disrespectful. Okay, got it. What do you guys feel about the fact that Roman Reigns used his power to not give them another title shot, but instead volunteer himself and Solo to be the ones to bring the tag team championships back to the bloodline? And then the Usos have already made it clear they feel they're the best tag team in the world, the best tag team they've ever done it. And to hear Roman Reigns said, "No, we're gonna bring me and Solo, me and Lil Cuz is going to bring the tag team back to the bloodline, and we dedicated it to the real best tag team of all time, the Wild Samoans." And you can tell, if you watch it closely, Jay flips out, like he's like spinning around. It's because he wants to be mad, but he's talking about family, so he can't be mad.
Yep.
he looks so. First of all, whoever said Jay can't act is terrible. You can tell the conflict was there, and I was like, oh, okay. He felt some type of way about that because they felt like that at one point they were told that they were the best tag team in the world, even by Roman. Now they're saying dedicated to the real best tag team. Yeah. So I was like, oh wow, that's they played it very well. Do you guys feel like him doing that, him feeling like that the Usos were not good enough to bring it back home, it's disrespectful? Brian, let's just start at the top.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
All right, we got one. There we go.
But
see, there it is. There's a but.
I mean, it's disrespectful because you're supposed to believe in your cousins, right? We bloodline, we bloodline, we family, we the best tag team, we the best family group, we the number one family in pro wrestling history. So for him to think that they can't get it done, regardless of having how many chances they had, you know, for him to not think they can get it done, yeah, that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and it makes you wonder, what do the ancestors think, right? What do Alpha Seeker think? And this is where we heard Rikishi say he feel like he could get inserted in the story. This is where
Papa Keisha's working hard, isn't he?
Yes, and I don't blame him. Go get some of that money, you know. But I would like to see, this is where you insert him in, because he got, you know, somebody need to bring peace to this. You know, we already know The Rock is busy, because that would be like if the Usos said, "Oh, Roman, you can't get your title back. That's why we're going to beat up Cody, and we're going to dedicate that win to the greatest member of the bloodline ever, The Rock." You know,
there you go.
It's like those certain inner rivalries, because no matter how much they may respect the Wild Samoans, they still look at it like, look, at the end of the day, we twins, and we done this. We doing this now, and we won more titles. We're better.
Way more accomplished, yeah.
Bingo. So I think, but for Roman not to believe in them, yeah, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful on all levels. Disrespectful to the bloodline, not just the faction, but the bloodline as the Anoa'i bloodline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that Anoa'i Fatu connection is strong, because apparently we have another Uso brother. And I was like, oh boy, there's
they
more.
Don't die, they multiply.
And listen to me. First of all, there's a whole gang of another like Samoan dynasty outside. Not to mention, you still got Umaga's son coming up in the ranks, but
they got titles everywhere too.
And that's the part that I think is if you're Samoan right now, now's the time to eat, because you could play into this whole bloodline thing worldwide.
Is why what makes Roman's reign one of the greatest reigns we've ever seen, right? Because when somebody holds a championship this long, after a while, you can make the argument about they don't need the title, they don't need the championship. From day one, he's explained he needs this championship and he needs those titles so his family can eat.
I mean, yeah, like it's. I remember I was watching something today. Matter of fact, I was watching Kevin Hart's episode of The Pivot, and he said, man, it's no fun getting money by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He said because the people that you want to go there with, they can't afford to go where you go. So it's my job to help them all eat. Let's all get to the level so we can do it together.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reminds me of what you said, and I was like, "Oof, man!" That quote now makes more sense. Where it's like, listen, if I'm the champion, and I get championship purse, and I have privileges and access to certain things because of that, you guys need to be there too, so you can keep those privileges instead of him have to mooch. Kind of like it almost seems like you're not carrying your own weight. And dang, you guys, I hate you guys. You guys, you guys just blew up the whole show. I'm glad we talked about other disrespectful stuff first, brother Brandon.
Professionals, man.
Yeah, clearly, because golly, I'm like, oh shoot, y'all got me changing my mind. Like maybe he was just not disrespectful, but this is just a sign of greatness. But brother Brandon, do you think it was disrespectful or not for him to feel like that he has to go and get the tag titles instead of believing in his brother cousins, as Brian H made it very eloquently clear?
No, because he had already laid the foundation to prove his point. Because what did he say? He said Solo gets results. Solo is the one that's been taking care of these problems. You know, he's the problem solver. So he said, you know what? We don't have a Sammy and Kevin problem. We got a Uso problem. So the solution is I'm going to show y'all how to solve this problem. Because y'all can't get it done. Watch the person that's been getting stuff done. Roman and him, because let's call it what it is. Roman hasn't been pinned since Baron Corbin pinned him in 2019.
What's worse of always being reminded of? Baron Corbin being the last person to pin Roman Reigns, or Chris Jericho reminding us that he beat The Rock in Austin in one night for $500? Go.
Chris Jericho saying it because he ran it into the hole.
Yeah, he definitely did,
because
bro.
out of content, you're like, well, what does that mean?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
I had to mess with you.
Yeah, I'm with, because he did. Yeah, I'd be right. Okay, give us more. But
like,
back
bro,
to this Roman thing, I think that he set the stage for us to know this was coming. This is the next. Now, only thing I hate that yet again we're gonna have 4 belts, well, 2 belts tied in the bloodline still, because
that's a beautiful thing, I tell you.
Yes, sir.
If the Usos cost them the belt, inadvertently by trying to help, that's going to cause Roman to snap, and I think that it's going to become a civil war within the bloodline, because Solo already wanted to Samoa Spike him. Because you see, he kept looking at him like...
He came close, like...
No.
I just want to hit you. Like, Solo, I don't think that we... Solo, he noticed he talking a little bit more. Solo was a man of few words. Now he's saying some things. I'm like... Okay.
I like Solo, man. He's an excellent job. He's subtle. He says a few words here and there, but he doesn't say much. But it's like he's saying a little bit more inching. So
you said it though. You talked about him wanting the Samoan Spike. He did that with Sammy, and it kept building. Like he wanted to do it. No, not yet. Wanted to do it. No, not yet. But when he finally was able to, he let Sammy have it.
Man, it reminds me when he was about to do it. And Jay's like, hey, man, yeah. I'm your brother. Then he goes, I'm your brother. He not. I said, Jay, you too loud in front of that camera like that. Roman Reigns.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because Roman Reigns makes it very clear that he watches the show. Because when he's not there,
he's on the phone.
And it happened last time with Jay when Jay was talking to Sami Zayn.
Like on his phone. That's the funniest when he
or like I forgot what SmackDown he wasn't there, and and Paul Heyman was there. And he was like, it was the end of the show, and he was like, "Yes, my tribal chief," and he was like, I'll let them know that next week, blah blah blah. And I was like, "See, there you go." He's watching them cameras. So Jay, like, man, hey, I'm your brother. Then he said, "He not." I said, "Oh, see, now we being divisive. We was all brothers a month ago."
Roman never addressed Jay talking to Sammy.
Yeah.
Remember that time Jay was
by the trailer?
Yeah,
he said, I ain't with you.
So Jimmy like, you didn't talk to your brother?
And
you didn't talk to your brother?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We never got our Roman and Jimmy fight. No, I'm sorry.
You're right. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah, we never got that match.
Well, that's what I was saying. It was so uncharacteristic this past Friday when I watched him. I said, man, I've never seen Jimmy kind of snap out of character like that with Roman. usually he's the one just like telling Jay, like, bro, you gotta get in line. You know how we do this. And if people that don't know is Samoan culture, and I don't know if this goes for other Pacific Islanders as well, or as they call themselves, island boys. Like if you're off that coast, that's just what it is. But they take the hierarchy of age very, very seriously in their families. So like Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso are twins, but Jimmy is considered the older brother because I think he was born. I want to say, but anywhere between 20-30 minutes before Jay. So like in their house, he's considered the older brother. So it was always Roman, Jimmy, Jay. As brother Brandon has switched his belt at the end of the show.
He acknowledging his tribal chief.
Right.
He goes and gets
the belt that they held for the reason that we're talking about it. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's fair because I didn't like that belt until he had it. I was like, you know what, it's grown on me. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I don't ever remember seeing Jimmy being kind of out of pocket or unbenefit with Roman. It's usually Jay, but this is the time he was going at Jimmy, and Jimmy looked like he was done dealing with it. And it was Jay that had to say, man, he forced a bunch of grown men to apologize in front of all them people on live TV. And Jay had to.
Jimmy was the one. No, it's us. We the Usos. Remember at first, and he had that shirt that said "Nobody's." You know what?
Yeah, nobody's Mitch.
Come on, I'm gonna go get us a tag team title shot. I'm gonna do this because it's us. He like, no, we gotta be in Roman. I'm his right hand man. But so they never had that blow off either.
Yeah, Roman was just trying to get them at that time just to be on the same page, still follow his lead, but be on the same page and win the titles. But see, now it's getting because they lost those titles after 400 plus days. He's like, no, we wear gold in this and we eat steaks and sushi. But Sammy messed it up.
Just imagine your tribal chief coming down like this, and Paul Heyman holding the other two belts for him.
I mean, to piss people off, I would not be surprised. We saw it with it's not the first time. I enjoyed Seth Rollins' mini run as United States and WWE Championship before he got hurt. I mean, before he had to give title again and stuff like.
Because guess what?
Kill Sting.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is getting stale.
It's boring.
What?
Take the titles
what
off.
What are you
of
guys talking about? I'm not going to.
I need them fighting forever with each other.
No, I need them to move on to other people.
We're going to.
I need Sammy and Shinsuke to have a match again.
Give me that.
No.
Give me Kevin Owens and Gunther.
No, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now. We will save this conversation for next week as we get closer to the Night of Champions. You guys are not about to sit here and do this late in the show, try to pivot that way and sit there and say you guys are sick of.
Okay.
See, look, he was right. Look, brother Brandon.
Give me Elino Dragunov.
No. See,
wait, Dragunov and who?
Sammy.
Nah, Dragunov's got business with Dijak on NXT.
I know he's still NXT. Or Judgment Day and Sammy.
Something ain't right. Something fishy there.
Judgment Day's teasing a new member.
And Paul Heyman's teasing something with Judgment Day.
They're gonna do something on Sunday to help them get the belt so they can get a title shot. What if they don't want to help them?
But Judgment Day's on Raw, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But why is Paul Heyman showing up?
It's because he's probably going to give them the titles on Raw. And like, hey, what brand split? Here, you guys up for grabs, and then take the smack. Like they got to find a creative way to split those titles up without having to create new ones.
Didn't he do something with Imperium too?
See, I don't know. Like Imperium were they involved somehow backstage or anything?
They want the titles. They made it clear they want the titles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, the Kevin Owens and Sammy, and they wrestled. They was like, yeah, we basically gonna get these titles when y'all figure out after Night of Champions. So they putting people in place to be contenders for the tag team titles. But if they give the Judgment Day the Raw titles, first off, how weird is that gonna be that you got Judgment Day with the Raw titles and Rhea Ripley is the SmackDown champion on Raw?
I mean, I think that that's going to change. Of course, the belt guy notices that. I'm sure there's going to be a change with that coming soon, though. But and I think there's a very specific reason why they haven't. He's going to get another belt.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not. I was coming back to sit down.
You might as well grab another one.
He was going to. No, he's grabbing another belt. There's nowhere where he was.
It's right there on the floor.
He knew he's not. There it is. I knew it. He's not. There's nowhere where you're going to convince me that he wasn't coming back with another title. ladies and gentlemen, he has the original NXT championship over his shoulder. He gets a kick out of this, the Belt King. But no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this right now. Like I said, I refuse. Nope. I'm cutting it off. We've hit our limit. It's time for us to go.
Yes,
So
okay.
Hold on, quick question though. What was Solo's mission? That was about 2 weeks ago.
Take out Riddle.
Did they ever? Was it Riddle, or did they ever address that?
They said it was a Seth problem. They said they got a riddle they're trying to solve, and something with Seth Rollins. That's what I last I remember.
You sure?
Seth, right?
I don't know. Don't get me lying to you, brother.
Because I was thinking like maybe he was ready to go out there and do something to the Usos.
Man, I don't trust
the way
Paul
it
Heyman. I
seemed.
never did. Ever since he
Right.
fired the Good Brothers, or when he was running Raw, I got no.
You did say see.
I don't, me. So don't get me started about Paul Heyman.
Right.
But listen to me. This is. Let me ask Brian this, because this is getting intriguing. Are you still into this storyline? Like you guys sold me on it. Brian, it says getting kind of stale. Is this what you need to kind of?
I never said the bloodline was getting stale.
You weren't the one that said that it was getting like it was going downhill. That wasn't you.
No.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
I throw up my ones faithfully.
I said it was from the bloodline, because I feel like the bloodline is kind of like, all right, what's
okay?
You
So that's
the
what
belts or something else. Yeah, I feel like it was.
was
Now Sammy and Kevin have gotten born.
No, not doing it. Nope. You're not gonna disrespect my guys like that. Getting boring. I gotta sit there and like contain myself, because I'm not about to sit there and jump into this conversation, bro. About they're just getting freaking started. But how do you this? Here's my issue, because you got me all flustered. Sammy, this is the only thing I'm gonna say. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna say it. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are mega stars. They're almost like they're unbeatable. It's like that they don't need the tag titles right now, is because WWE is trying to rebuild their tag team division, and right now Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both outshine those divisions by 1,000,000 watts, because it's like who's realistically going to beat those guys. So it's like you got to plot and scheme and come up with some type of character arc or story to kind of make sense that these top guys end up losing, and so
it's
we
like
will see.
Asuka and Charlotte was tag team champions. You're like, wow.
Yeah, who's gonna beat them? Like, seriously.
Right.
I'm be honest with you. I felt the same way about like Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar. I was like, realistically, that's why they had one of the longest SmackDown tag team reigns of all time for a reason. Like realistically, who's gonna beat those guys?
They had a lot of tag. They had Raw and SmackDown tag title reigns.
Yeah, they were both. Like they went down as one of the best tag teams of all time. Shout out to Claudio. It's the first time I actually call him that, even though he's still Cesaro for me.
Claudio,
I'm telling you, I'm trying to be open to the AEW train. It's not working out.
He definitely is trying.
See, I'm really trying. See, thank you, brother. Hugh. Thank you for acknowledging
That's
that.
what it
Most people don't. Most people.
You're welcome.
Nobody
You're welcome,
acknowledges what I'm trying. Thank you, sir. That means a lot to me. But you can follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. That's with 2 W's. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, YouTube at the Wrestling Realm. Brothers, man, we still got a hot crowd right now, but we're gonna wrap this up, man. But listen, excellent show, man. You guys, man, you guys are so insightful. I enjoy these conversations every week, and I'm pretty sure that our listeners enjoy these conversations every week as we get closer and closer to SummerSlam. We have Night of Champions next week, but I want to make a quick announcement. You guys, we're going to say it right now. Brian, this is probably the last clip if you want to put it together. I'm sure you already are, but I'm just putting it out there. Just
he got that look in his eye.
Yeah, because he's working hard, Mr. Producer Man. Next week, special announcement. It's official. We discussed it this week, but next week, as we prepare for Night of Champions, that Saturday, next week's show will definitely be a Night of Champions championship culture takeover. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't that what the way would do?
But yeah. Hold on, let me just. There you go.
Doesn't even. Oh man.
So next week
we gotta find that clip of you doing that.
Oh yeah, somebody did give it off, so it should be somewhere in the group text. But next week, that's right. As we prepare for Night of Champions, it's no better way to discuss Night of Champions than allow the Belt King himself. We're gonna mix some things together. We're gonna come up with a really, really special show. It's gonna be like one of our in your house specials as we prepare for Night of Champions. But we're gonna discuss Night of Champions. But there's a lot of things that go into it in regards to these championship titles, the titles that are gonna be defended, so on and so forth. So tune in next week. Like I said, special announcement made here. right now will be our Night of Champions Championship Culture Takeover, and you guys are going to see.
That sounds like a party, bro.
It's dang near. Like if you know, that's what we do around here. We boogies. We definitely party, and Brandon Guy is going to be in rare form. We're going to highlight some things, like I said, as far as these championships. We're going to highlight some opportunities that we may have in regards to maybe saying new women's titles. Maybe that's why they're dragging their feet in regard to why the belts have not been exchanged yet in regards to their representative brands, with Bianca Belair showing up to SmackDown with the Raw women's title and Rhea Ripley still on Raw with the SmackDown women's title. There's possibility for a number of different things that could happen. But guess what? We will discuss it next week, brother. Brandon, the guy, man. He's that guy.
This
Who?
guy.
Which guy? That guy.
Yeah,
He is going to bring championship culture to the forefront as we kind of merge and have a combined group that night. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So join us next week for that, our Night of Champions Championship Culture Takeover. And we appreciate you all staying tuned. We thank you for listening to us. Like I said, also subscribe to all our social media platforms at the Wrestling Realm, patreon.com/wrestling_realm, Twitch and YouTube at youtube.com/the Wrestling Realm. Any last words, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
Follow us everywhere, man. Some content on the Patreon I just dropped, so you never know. I get the itch, and then I have something to say. I reacted to Roman and everything, the Roman of it all, immediately after SmackDown. So, yeah, make sure y'all follow us and get some shirts. www.wrestlingrealm.com. Realm now is the promo code that will save you $5 on your purchase. So make sure y'all take advantage of that.
I'm getting me the shorts, man. I want the Hoochie Daddy shorts.
It's time.
I mean, listen to me. It's definitely that time of year, man. So pick up your Wrestling Realm merchandise. I forgot we had those shorts on the website. I got to get some stuff too.
Right. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for us. Join us next week. Don't forget, Night of Champions Championship Culture Takeover. Peace.
Mr. Ryan Waters.